Okay, here we have another exercise and answer. This time the exercise is to accept three numbers, any three numbers, and the job of the NS chart should be to print the total of those three, add those three numbers and say what is the total, and also give the average. So average means add the total, add the three numbers and divide by three. So that will give you the average. So that's the exercise we are going to do in this one. Okay. So as usual, before you go through the rest of the video, take some time and try this exercise on your own and then get into the video. Okay, you can stop at this point and then maybe replay it once you work out. So let's get into the exercise. This is the solution I have provided. So I have to accept three numbers, right? So I have created a variable called no1 number one to mean number one, or I can give the full word number one, whatever, some valid variable name. So I'm calling the first number, the variable to be no1, second variable to be no2, and third variable to be no3. So only three variables we are there. Again, we are use those three variables. You hear all these are right. So we need for the show and the get statement, we need the screen and the three variables, number one, number two, number three. Right. So let's once again reminding you, this part and this part are not visible to the user. Only this part is visible to the user. These are inside the computer. Okay, we have just put that for us to dry run. Only for that purpose, to understand exactly how the computer works these instructions. So these are just the instructions that the computer is going to do. So by following these instructions, what the computer generally does is it manipulates these memory variables or the locations, and it displays various things on the screen. That's the job of the program generally. In addition to, there are other things that it can do later, but basic things are, it will put things onto the screen and it will manipulate the variables that are available to it using. So let's go through this. You start. When you go to this is, now we need to accept three numbers, right? So first number acceptance, I'm putting a message saying enter first number. So that will be displayed. And to get the number, we go to this second line, get number one. So now the computer is waiting, and user will have to type a value and press enter. So let's say user types 10 and enter, that will be taken by number one. Okay, so enter, it comes to number one. Then we are trying to take the next number. Next number is enter second number. This message. Otherwise, the user won't know. So that's why we are putting this message, and we are going into this to wait for the number two. Now I can't put number one again, because then the second number will also be accepted into the same variable, overwriting the previous value. Then I lose the first value. That is why I am using a different name variable to accept the second number. So it's waiting here, and the user will type a number, say 5, and enter. That will go into number 2. Right? If I use the same name, it would have overwritten 10, and this will be now 5. So we lose the previous number. Since I won't keep that, I'm using a separate variable for the number 2. So it goes into this. Then I want my third number, so I again put another message saying in this one, show enter third number, and then go to this statement waiting for the third number. So the user will type the value, say let's say 3, and enter, it goes into the number 3. So because I have used three variables and accepted them, I have those three numbers with me to manipulate and deal with in my NS chart. So in my program. So after getting the number, then again, like I told you, this statement is not necessary. I can just do the total and average showing just like that. But these two messages will be more meaningful to the user. User will know, again, this is the total, this is the average, without just putting two numbers here. That's why we are using this show statement to make sure that the user understands that. And remember, this is the only part the user is going to see. The user won't see this or this. These are all inside the computer, in the memory. So here what we are saying, show total of the three numbers is. So it will display total of the three numbers is by this statement. Then only we are actually adding and showing. See, here show number one, or variable number one. These are all variable, right? No double quotes, no. So number 1 plus number 2 plus number 3. So number 1 is 10, number 2 is 5, number 3 is 3. So 10 plus 5, 15 plus 3, 18. So it will show, it will work out this to 18, and the show statement will show that on the screen. So 18 will be shown. So we have put this message in. So now this is more meaningful to the user. Then he can see total of the three numbers is 18. Then you go to the next line, and now I'm going to say it's average of the three numbers. So this message will come in, and you go to the next line. Now I am adding the three numbers, which we know is 18, and divide by 3. Why? Three numbers are there. To get the average, we have to divide by 3. If 4 numbers are there, you have to divide by 4. If 5 numbers are there, divide by 5, right? So that's how you get the average. Just reiterating the same thing. And also remember, there is a bracket here. If this bracket is not there, I have already discussed that in my previous videos. According to the BODMAS rule or the PETMAS or whatever you want to call it, if the brackets are not there, the division has more priority, and therefore this number only will be divided by 3 and the other numbers will be added. But for an average, we don't do that. What we do is we add the 3 numbers first and then divide by 3. So to override this division priority, we have put the bracket because bracket has the highest priority. So because of the bracket, this total will be done first and that value will be divided by 3. So number 1 plus number 2 plus number 3 is 10 plus 5 plus 3, which is 18, divided by 3, it will be 6, right? So show, it will work out the value and show the value 6. And then go to the next line, end it. So you can see this NS chart accepts 3 numbers, adds the 3 numbers and show it here, get the total and divide by 3 and show the average here, and then it comes to that. So now, okay, here we are going to try with another set of numbers for the same NS chart, same number 1, number 2, number 3, taking that and getting the total and the average. So once again we need the screen and the 3 variables. So let's start off. Start, go to this, enter first number as usual, whatever is within double quotes is displayed exactly. So enter first number. Then you go to the next line to get the number into number 1. So user will type, let's say 3, and enter the 3 goes to number 1. Then you go to the next line and display enter second number. So it says that message, and go to the next line to wait for the number 2. So the user types, let's say 18, goes into the number 2. Then you go to the next line, say enter third number, another message, and then you go to get number 3 to accept the number for that. Okay, so remember, without this number, just putting the message alone is not going to accept the number. So this is the get command to accept the number and getting into number 3, this variable. So it's waiting. So user types, let's say 6, the 6 will be taken by this, number 3. Because of this. Then you go to the next line and say total of the 3 numbers. So this displays total of the 3 numbers, right? So total of the 3 numbers is a message you are giving. Like I have told you earlier, you don't need this statement. If you don't have the statement, this message won't come. So it will just put the number only. So the user might get confused. So that's why we are putting a message and then putting the total. So now we go to this one. It will add the 3 numbers and show it on the screen. That's what this command is doing. Show number 1 plus number 2 plus number 3. So adding the 3. 3 plus 18 is 21. 21 plus 6 is 27. So 27 is the result of this total. So show that. So 27 is shown. Then you go to the next line and you say, okay, average of the 3 numbers is average of the 3 numbers. So this we are displaying, and then you go to the next line. Once again, the bracket is there to override the BODMAS order, right? Usually, division has higher priority over addition or subtraction, but by using the bracket has the highest priority. It will first do that. So now we are getting it to do the additions first and then divide by 3. So number 1 plus number 2 plus number 3, as we know, is 27. 3 plus 18, 21 plus 6 is 27. 27 divided by 3 will be 9. So it will display that. And then you go to the next line, which is to finish it. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this NS chart. If you have any issues, please put it in the group, and we'll come up with another video. Meet you. Okay, thank you very much.